Hey, you don't mind. Let's see if we can get this thing started up. Load that page. And OBS thinks I'm streaming. There we go. Twitch thinks I'm playing No Man's Sky. And sometimes I do, but not at this point. And we sit and wait for the page to load so I can change the category. And this also gives us time for the advertisement segment from Twitch. In case anybody's wondering, according to what I'm hearing from people like Thor over at Pirate Software, the first 3 minutes of a Twitch stream, at least I think it's the first 3 minutes that the audience sees, is going to be advertising, unless I enable advertising in my stream and set up a 3-minute block sometime during the stream to advertise in. And there's good ways to go about doing that, but considering I haven't monetized my channel at all, I don't get any benefit from it at all. So I am not turning on advertising. And we shall see how that all goes. In any case, let me, now that I've got the stream updated with the fact that I'm playing Gnome Sudoku instead of No Man's Sky, I'll pop over, see how long the stream has been running. It says for about 2.5 minutes. We'll give it another half a minute or so, and we'll see how we'll see what the game says. All right, at least my audio is coming in today. I apparently had a filter set wrong on the XLR microphone, and it was not coming in at a level that OBS was able to do anything with. Looks like it is now. That doesn't mean that there aren't problems. We shall see what we can do about any of those. All right, let's give this a try. And the self-solver says this is solvable, so let's see what we can do. All right, I've got a couple of 1 possibilities there, which means a couple there, all kinds all over the place there. Got 4 possibilities here, and 5 here, and then 1 down here, which narrows this down. Tidy says that's going to be a 1. These 2 are not, and we got 1 sorted, it looks like. So we got a couple of possibilities for 2 here, and a few more over here, like 4. Here we've got 4 as well. And over here we've got 5, because nothing is really restricting that except things that are already in place. Over here, same deal, 6 this time. And 4 here, or 5 here. I say as I skip an option, 3 here because of the 2 in the top of the row or column, and all of these are possibles for 2. 3s, so we get 5 possibilities here, 4 possibilities here, over here we've got, oh, that's not 1, 3 possibilities. 3 here as well. There's 3 possibilities in here, 4 here, and then looks like everything's a possibility here. All right. That becomes a 4. This does not. Yep, we got these down here. Possibilities. For some reason, I hung on to the fact that when I started entering a 4, that I'd finished that all out, and it's not quite where we were at, was it? All right, and okay, we actually have a 5 here. 3 possibilities here. 5 here, which says this is no longer a possibility. 3 possibilities here. And 3 possibilities here. 6s, we've got 4 possibilities here. That can't be a 5, so oop. Z, not a 5. So we're just the 2 possibilities there in that one. Okay. 6 that is possibly one of these 2. 2 possibilities here, because that's going to be a 6. And over here we've got 2 possibilities as well. All right, A7 here. Nope, not that. Okay, this is not a 6. Okay. And I think we are at 8s now. Let me do a quick check of all the squares for 7s. Looks like we've got something for a 7 in all of them, so 2 possibilities for 8 in that square. 3 up here, and 8 here. Oh, nope, already got an 8 in that one. So 2 possibilities here, and then we've got an 8 here, and now 9s. We've got that neither of those 2 can be 9, so it's one of these 2. This one's going to be a 9. Let's see. 3 possibilities here. 4 possibilities here. 4 possibilities here as well. Oop, no. 3 possibilities there. And a bunch of possibilities here. Looks like 5 of them. And then 4 possibilities there. Looks like it. All right, now we got a standalone 4 up here. Let's check that. Below it, we got a 1. This should have an option for 2. because there are no 2s already tagged down here. All right, how about others? We got a 3 possibility here. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yes, this is a 3. So not a 3 there, 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 or there. 4, 1, 4, 1 pair means none of these can be 4s. Don't have any over here, so that means one of these 2 will be, but we got to narrow things down elsewhere. It looks like 2. All right. 2, 3, 2, 3. It comes up as a pair, means this cannot be a 2 or 3. This becomes a 7. And now we've got 8, 6 pairs. 2, 3 there, plus, nope, nothing now, narrowing it down there. 2, 3, 2, 3 here means not a 2, neither 2 nor 3 there. 1, 7, 1, 7, not a lot of help. Let's clean up that 4 there. Let's see. It wasn't supposed to be a 4 to begin with because of this one. All right. Ah, 1717 means not a 1 here. We're here. So one of these 2 will be a 1, but don't know which yet. That, yeah, and that means, or that there is a 1, so it doesn't help, or doesn't help me solve either of these or these, other than none of these can be 1. Got one couple of possibility 1s there and there. And I think we're at the, oh, let's clean up that 7. Which means this is going to be a 7. None of these will be. 8, 2, 9, 2, 8, 6, 9, 6. Oh, standalone 9 suddenly. Let's check that. One of these 2 is going to be a 1. I get the 2 there. 3 here. Again, one of these 2 is going to be 4. 5, 6. 7. And 8 here means this is going to be a 9. Turning this into a 6 and an 8, 2 here, 9 up here, not a 9, not a 9, neither 8 nor 9, so we got a 5, 3 pair there. We got a 4, 1, 8 here. Not a 9 down here, not a 4 here. Just clean up some of these others that I left dangling. That becomes a 3 and that a 2, which makes this into a 3, and this becomes a 9. Get a 4, 2 pair, 6 there, 5 and 8, 2 here. How about 2, not 1? Ah, that breaks things. All right, let's back out to that I don't have a position where I was testing, or wasn't got something left over, do I? So let's back out further. Okay. Maybe there. I put in a 7 there, but it's not necessarily the right place for that 7 to have been. Let's try with this place as a 7. That turns this into a 7, not a 7. Again, not 7's over here, not a 4. 2, 3, 2, 3, not a 7. That's why that was a 7. Can't be either 8 or 6, because we've got both of those in the squares givens. Okay, so that was not far enough back. Now I'm going to start over. And we're going to count or start from the 9s down this time. If we can. Okay, there's a 9 there. 9 up here, so I've got 9s possible there. And all of them over here in the top 2 rows of that. 3 possibilities down here as well. 3, 4 possibilities here. 4 over here. 4 here. And wide open here. All right. We've got 2 possible 8s here. 3 possible 8s here. 2 possible 8s here. An 8 here. And I believe that takes care of 8s. 9s and 8s are filled, or at least marked. So 7s. Sixes. Four possibles there. 2 possibles here. 2 possibles here. And that narrows it down to a 6 there. 2 possibles here. And we're up to 5s. Looks like we got a given 5 here, or a 5 to place there. 3 possibles there. A solve there. 3 possibles there. 2 here. All right. Okay, not a 5 there, because we dropped that one there. Okay. Couple 4s there, possibles. Couple here as well. And this leaves us with 3 places that could be 4 there. And 3 here. All kinds of options here. Nope, not a 4 there. 5 possibles in this square. All right, 3s. That can't be one. One of these. 3. 3 possibles here. Given here. Okay, 2s. Okay, that can't be a 2, but I've got 2 possibilities there. 5 possibilities over here. 4 in this square. 5 in this square. 3 in this square. Looks like 4 possibilities here. 6 here. Possibilities yet, not solves. And 8 here. All right, 1s. One of these two, this one's going to be a 1. That makes this a 1. One of these two is going to be a 1. One of these two will be a 1. Means one of these two will be a 1. And it looks like one of these two will be a 1. All right, so we got a 2, 3, 2, 3 pair here, so not a 2 or 3, not a 2. That means a 9 and a 4 here. Not a 9. Not 4 or 9. Three. Let's check that. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yes, 3. And that was the only 3 in that column. And this one is the only other 3 in the row. Oop, not correct. There are 2 other 3s in this column. That turns this into a 7. Not a 7 here or here. Or over here. All right, I've got what looks like a standalone 2 here. Let's do a quick check on that. 1, 3. Nope, 4 is a possibility there for the moment. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are all correct. So, okay, we got a 1, 4 pair here, so not a 4 in those 2. Don't see any 1s over here, so the ones that are here are where they should be. There are 1s there. And all the ones are either paired up or filled. Paired up, solved, or givens. Okay, that 7, 1 pair means this cannot be a 7. One of these two will be a 7. Doesn't help us there. One of these two is going to be 2 and 3. Okay, 4, 9. 4, 9, 6, 3. 4, 9, 3, 6, 3. Okay, not useful. Not as useful as a solve yet. Okay, now let's try punting. And let's remember that we're punting with the 2-3 here. So that says not a 2 here or here. This becomes a 4. This becomes not a 3, so that's a 3. Not a 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 8, 8, 2 in the row. Not a 4 there, that's a 7, that's a 5. So not a 5 over here. And we already had not a 7 elsewhere there, so not a 7's in the square. Not a 5 now in that square. So that turns that into a 5. And I believe all the 5s are now placed. Looks like I've got a... Oops, nope, I got 1 left. That goes there, right there. Okay, now all the 5s have been placed. 9, 2, 7, 9, 2, 7, 9, 2. Singleton 8 in the square. This can't be an 8. Neither can either of these. This can't be an 8 for the same reason the other one couldn't be, the first one. So that's an 8. Which makes this into a 2. This becomes a 1. This becomes a 9. So not a 9, not a 9. Not a 7, so that's a 9. 6 here. Not a 9, not a 6, so I got a 7, 8 pair. Oop. Now we got a 7, 1, 7, 2, 4, 9, 2 pair. Not a 4, not a 4, not a 4, 9 or 6, not a 9 or 6. Not a 2, not a 2, that's a 9, 3, 4, 2, not a 2, 6, 9, 3, 2, 1, 2, 4, 9, 3, 6, 7, 3, 2, 8, 7, 4, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, and finishing up with a 9. Yeah, that took 23 minutes and 49 seconds. Let me get that journaled. And that was for puzzle 212. And let's get this set up for the next puzzle. 218. And hopefully it won't take quite so long. Oh, 25 minutes, not 46. All right, well, I'll live with that discrepancy. Provided puzzle already, so let's fill it in. You are welcome to purchase and download the SudokuStore puzzles on Amazon and Etsy. I think on Amazon you're actually buying the paper copy. So if you're interested in contributing to SudokuStore and their business, which is about giving us a decent puzzle collection, not going to dispute it. I would say go for it. Either way, my understanding is when you get the digital download, you get a better, or you actually contribute more to the Sudoku store, but I'm not involved in that side of things, so that's entirely up to you. All right, let's check this. It says it's good. I'm going to go quickly back to the my notes and change the seconds from 46 to 25 because that's what that was. And let's get this going here. So this one's going to be a 7. One of these two will be a 7. One of these two. One of these two is going to be a 7. Nope, it's actually going to be this one because that blocks that. This blocks that. Therefore, that's a 7. All right. 6s. One of these two will be a 6. Not a lot of help. These two is a 6. These 3. All right, let's mark them. Let's go ahead and mark them from the 1. Oh, we got a 1 here. One of these two will be a 1. Helps if I click the 1 instead of the F1. We got 4 possibilities here, except that this one is going to be a 1, so these are not possibles. This one's going to be a 1. All right, 2. One of these two is going to be a 2. I've got 2 possibilities for 2 here. Threes, we got 2 possibilities. No, we got a solve here, 3. 2 possibilities there. 3 here. 2 here, meaning a solve here, which means that's no longer a 3 possible. That is a 3. Not a 3. Still have 2 possibilities in that square. Okay, 4s. Not a lot of helps in there. Come on. Sorry. So we got a 5 here. One of these two is going to be a 5. This one's going to be a... Nope, that one's not going to be a 5. One of these two is going to be a 5. 4 possibilities down here. 2 here. Which means one of these two is actually going to be the 5. 6s, we got a 6 here. A couple possibilities here. A couple more here. One of these. Looks like we got 4 possibilities here at the moment. Those possibilities. All right. Means one of these two will be an 8. 2 possibilities here. Maybe 3 here. Two possibilities here for 8s. And now we get drop in the 9s. Or possibilities there too. So one of these two... No, I can't narrow it down to 2. I've got 4 possibilities for 9 there. 3 possibilities here. Actually 5. And 3 possibilities here. Here we've got 3 possibilities. 3 possibilities here. Or there. All right. Anything singleton? Checking first. Not seeing anything. All right, we got a 4949 pair there, so not a 4, not a 4, not a 4, 9, so that's an 8, not an 8, 5, 6 pair, 4, 8 pair, 4, 9, 6, 9, 4, 8, 6, 7, okay. Only 8 in the row. So that becomes a 4 up here. And neither 4 nor 8 here. That makes you into an 8. This becomes a 5. 2 here, 8, 2 there. Not a 2, not a 2, not a 2, so that's a 6. 2, 6 here. Not a 6, not a 6. Not a 2, not a 6, not a 2. 4, 9, okay. Not a 2. 4, 9, 4, 9, so that's a 2. Not an 8 here or here. No, we got an 8 as a result there. Neither 8 nor 2. 2 here. 4, 9, 1, 4, 1, 9 in the row, not a 2, 4, 9, 4, 9. So that's a 2. Doesn't change anything above it. Offhand, we can clean up that 5 there, so that's a 5. Now, yeah, this is a 5 because I've got 4, 9 pair over to the left. This becomes a 2 because this is going to be a 6. That becomes a 5. Cleans that 5 out. 4, 9, 4, 9, 4, 9, 4, 9, 4, 9, 4, 9. Okay, we got 4, 9 here. So none of these can be 4 or 9. So that becomes a 6, 1, and 2. This becomes a 1. That becomes a 9. 4 here. 9 here. 4, 9, 4, 9. 6, 4. 3, 4, 7, 4, 6, 9, 4, 9, 3, 7,